As you grow older and retire, your social life naturally evolves, often becoming less crowded and more selective. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Many retirees who choose not to maintain active social networks find comfort and contentment in solitude and simplicity. Through this process of withdrawing from constant social interaction, they often discover three key truths about relationships and personal fulfillment. 1. The best mutual understanding is when neither person bothers the other. In ancient China, the philosopher Zhuangzi had a famous friendship with the politician Hui Shi. At one point, Hui Shi, caught up in his political responsibilities, began to avoid Zhuangzi. Though Zhuangzi tried to visit him, Hui Shi's distance and disinterest were clear, leading Zhuangzi to eventually withdraw. Despite their earlier closeness, both men reached a silent understanding: no one would bother the other anymore. This kind of relationship dynamic is often seen after retirement. During your working years, social interactions can feel obligatory, driven by professional needs and mutual benefits. But once you retire, these pressures fade. Maintaining social connections becomes a matter of choice, not necessity. As time passes without communication, you may feel guilty or awkward about not reaching out to old friends or colleagues. However, in many cases, the other person may feel the same way, appreciating the freedom of not needing to stay in touch. It's a mutual unspoken understanding: you don't disturb me, I won't disturb you. This can be surprisingly peaceful for both parties. Rather than forcing a connection, there's a shared acknowledgement that the relationship has naturally run its course. The truth is, sometimes the most respectful thing to do is to let things fade without pushing to rekindle them. 2. When someone suddenly reaches out after a long time, there's often an ulterior motive. If someone you haven't spoken to in a long time suddenly gets in touch, it's easy to think they're nostalgic or genuinely want to reconnect. Unfortunately, in many cases, such contact is driven by ulterior motives, such as a need for a favor or help. This is common after retirement. You might get a call from an old colleague or friend, and after a few minutes of polite chit-chat, the real reason for their contact emerges. They might be inviting you to a gathering where you're expected to contribute financially: gifts, donations, etc., or they might need assistance, anything from lending money to providing professional connections. Some might even be trying to sell you something or involve you in a business scheme. While not all unexpected contact has negative intentions, the fact remains that many relationships, especially in later years, are transactional. The sudden reappearance of an old acquaintance often signals they want something from you, not that they genuinely miss your company. This realization can make you more cautious about rekindling old connections and more protective of your time and resources. 3. The most comfortable life often involves no phone calls, no gatherings, and no obligations. Over time, you might find that fewer and fewer people contact you. Invitations to gatherings slow down, and eventually, you may stop receiving them altogether. This transition can feel jarring at first, but it's often accompanied by a profound sense of relief. As writer Lin Yutang once said, "A person who is clean of heart, clear of thought, and free of excess emotions and desires brings peace to themselves and others." When you no longer have social obligations, you gain more control over your time. This absence of forced interaction allows you to live more authentically, doing what you enjoy without worrying about how you're perceived or what others expect from you. Retirement can bring the gift of time to focus on what truly matters to you, whether it's hobbies, family, or simply enjoying solitude. With fewer distractions and obligations, you might discover a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. Without the need to attend social events or respond to constant communication, life becomes quieter, simpler, and more fulfilling. Conclusion: the wisdom of simplifying your social life. Many retirees experience workplace friend loss syndrome, where the relationships they built during their careers gradually fade away once they stop working. As your role in the workforce diminishes, so too do the professional ties you once maintained. While this might feel like a loss, it's a natural process, and one that ultimately brings freedom. As you adjust to retirement, you realize that not every connection is meant to last forever. By letting go of unnecessary social obligations, you can streamline your life, focusing on what truly brings you joy. Whether it's spending time with close family or simply enjoying your own company, the most fulfilling post-retirement life often comes when you embrace quietude and solitude. In the end, simplifying your social life allows you to focus on the things that matter most, without the burden of maintaining relationships that no longer serve you.